Hello lovelies, and welcome to this week's midweek wrap up. I'm so glad that you clicked on this video and that you stopped by. So today we're going to be talking all about tickles, of course, because it is that time of week. But today's a little bit special because we're all in a bit of a unique situation where we're mostly stuck at home, or if we do have to go to work, it's very limited contact, it's masked up and all that sort of thing. So I guess a few people have posted up, why wear makeup? I've got a mask on. Or I'm not seeing anyone. Why get dressed at all? I spent the day in my pajamas. All that sort of thing. And it was kind of getting me down, to be honest, just to see that people weren't really living their best isolation life from that perspective. And then one wonderful lady on Instagram who I absolutely love, she's so funny, from a show called My Kitchen Rules here in Australia, posted up that she had some bright lippy on just to cheer her up, and that was just one of her ways of coping with anxiety anyway on a regular basis. And then it was helping her even more so being isolated and at home. So that is what gave me the idea that even though I feel like wearing a comfy, very simple, couldn't even be bothered to knot it properly tickle just to, get by. Often this is what I've been wearing for the last 3 days, this style. Different scarves, but this style, in that it's just tied in one place and then it's just left to hang because it's quick and easy and very light. So the hair's not even done underneath, it's just squished up in there, and that's it. So today's not going to just be about putting on a nice beautiful bright scarf to lift our mood, but I'm going to also talk a little bit about big scarves, because big scarves are often a little bit more complicated. They're often a little bit more pretty and complex in their execution. So we're going to do a little bit about big, bright scarves to cheer us all up. I've got two really big scarves to play with today. So this one is folded in half. It's one of my favorite scarves I own because of the beautiful colors there. Really bright and vibrant and really fun patterns. And it's very elegant as well. This one has nostalgic value because it's something I bought with my sister up in the Dandenongs, gorgeous place here in Victoria. And then the other two are just from a local department store here in Australia, Maya. But they were bought for me as a birthday present by my beautiful friend and boss. I think it was last year. So just very nostalgic again. But look at these colors. Aren't they just divine and feminine and just really, really happy without being too offensive? So I'm going to start with the obvious. You can fold it in half or in thirds, whatever your shaper or hair or head size will require you to do. Obviously have a slip headband on for certain fabrics, and because it is a bit weightier being a larger scarf, it makes sense to have a bit more non-slip support. And you can just tie it as your normal kind of scarf, and it's very versatile what you can do with it. But its size does not get in the way of you just folding it as you want to and getting just a regular, beautiful turban out of it. What you do get is a lot more play with the colors here because it is a big scarf, so you do end up kind of flipping the fabric a little more and having more surface area for more pictures and things like that. So that's the benefit of a scarf like this folded in half. But there's so much more that something like this can offer, and as much as I love these kind of designs and the beautiful brightness is just very happy, very cheery, you can do so much with the design. You've got so much movement with this fabric because you've got so much fabric to work with. Look at that gorgeousness. Veils and all kinds of beautiful things can be achieved with these beautiful larger fabrics. That beautiful pattern there. Gorgeous large design. You really do get a lot of flexibility because you just have more fabric to work with in this gorgeous scarf. But I just love the colors. Honestly, even if it was a smaller scarf, these colors are just everything. The pop of green, the pop of yellow, I've spoken about the scarf before, and it is definitely a favorite. So it definitely puts me in a good mood knowing that this is, dressing up my day. Let's talk about not folding it in half. Okay, this one is a continuous pattern, so that's good. It means I don't really have to worry about symmetry or which color's showing. It'll all kind of show up regardless. I've got it completely open. It's really long. It's coming down to my lap here. Okay, so I've got one layer coming around here. What I'm going to do is crisscross it at the front. Okay, so even though I've crisscrossed it and kind of gathered it so it's off my face, I've got a whole bunch of fabric there in my fists, I still have this whole veil down the front. What I want to do with that veil is just flip it over. The reason I tilted my head back up because this crisscross has nothing to hold on to when you do that. So I had to tilt it back to stop it from falling. Now I've got this gorgeous crown happening at the front. All these pleats and folds and flips and dips and oh, amazing. I've gathered it up as 2 ponytails under my bun now. I'm just gonna, you can crisscross or you can tie. I'm going to tie my first tie here. And now you can decide what you'd like to do. You can have it out, which is really pretty. Or you can continue with some more tickle tying. You can do a little twist. And again, because you get a lot of fabric here in the tail, you get really beautiful, voluminous little crowns out of it. And they just keep going all the way back around again, because it's just such a big scarf. Okay. And again, you can leave one out. You get beautiful, large pattern remaining. Or you can, there's plenty of places to hide it. How beautiful. You can always, tuck away bits and pieces as you go, making it nice and neat. For my next one, I've got it folded only a third down, so you can see it's still huge, even though I've got the top third folded. So I'm going to put it on so that this bit is on the crown. The reason I had it folded, you don't have to do a whole third, you can do far less, but I just wanted to get a nice blunt edge here rather than something frizzy or sharp for that matter. So I didn't want the frizzies coming out the front and tickling my forehead, and I also didn't want any, I wouldn't want any blunt edges if it was a scarf like the previous one where it was sewn over. I wouldn't want that sort of thing right on the forehead. I'm just going to gather it all up, so I've got these 2 really big ponytails that I'm about to cross over and tie off. I'm going to be quite a bit more patient with these big scarves because there's a lot of fabric there. Look at all this. Woo! Oh, the colours on this scarf are just everything. Okay. I'm not going to be too specific about how I fold things. Don't want it to be all inverted, but I'm just going to let it kind of do its own thing. Beautiful thing about, again, having this larger scarf is you have so much to play with. I can open this right up and flip it around, gather it a little bit, and flip it over and get all these gorgeous pleats and things going on. Or I can fold it like I was about to do, just very loosely. Just have the edges meet. And then same again, just get it all over. Just a little bit more control when it's folded because there is just that much fabric. And I like how you get these little frizzy bits popping out as well with the scarf. And again, you can, from this point, do whatever you like. You can do beginner's luck and all that sort of thing. You can really have fun with the amount of fabric and just the beautiful way it can just play and fall and all that kind of thing. Look at that. Just tie that off, and that in itself is just divine. Wow. Take away that tail. Such a basic tickle, but such a beautiful look, because look at all these pleats, and you can bring them out, you can pull them back. What I really love doing with these bigger scarves, or even if it's just a longer scarf too, we just all around. They are a little bit more kind of messy to deal with because there is so much fabric. I'm going to bring out some of that burgundy because it's so pretty. Okay, I'm actually going to take the longer, what's become the longer tail, and feed it through. Look at that gorgeous pattern you get there. And then underneath all this, and there's a lot there because huge scarf, you can, oops, just distribute it a little bit more evenly. That way it'll be flat or flatter, and it won't create too much bulge if you don't want it. And you can gather it together and create more bulge if you want it. Again, bringing back those purple bits or the burgundy bits, and then arranging your pleats how you want them. Well, matches my top, and then you can leave that out. That's actually really pretty. I love that tail. Look how just hair-like almost it is. It's got so many layers and frizzies, and love that. But you can absolutely tuck it away as well. There's tons of space just under there to tuck it away too if you really wanted to, but oh, this is speaking to me. So lovely. Because these ones are so large, you can have so much fun with them. I'm going to show you with this one just because the pattern's a bit more obvious. Be a good one to do an example of a bit of a different fold. So I've got the whole scarf there, huge thing, open. What I'm actually going to do is going to take this black corner and then this opposite white corner and bring them together, and it'll create a massive, humongous triangle. And then what you want to do is find the remaining corners, and they'll be your edges. The trouble is you can probably get lost under all this fabric quite easily. So I've got this beautiful triangle out the back somewhere. So what I need to do is relocate these remaining edges because they're going to be my guide. Okay, so I've got these non-triangled edges, or the outer edges there. So these are going to be my little guides for where I need to sort of have an end. So I'm just going to tie a little scrunchie on both of them so that I don't lose them, because that's one of the trouble with these large scarves, is that you kind of get lost under it all sometimes. Okay, so it creates a bit of weight on the edge, which is great. So I'm going to try and tilt my head back so that it all hangs and crisscross them over so that, yeah, one edge has come out that way. Where are you, other edge? Oh. Okay, got the other edge coming out too. Okie doke. And we still have that triangle at the back somewhere. The really fun thing about doing it this way is you get a completely different appreciation on the patterns. Okay, so tying off the little edges is a really good idea. That way you always know where they are. The only thing is this is not a double-sided scarf. So if I just flip it over now, I'm actually going to get the inside of it, and it's a bit dull comparing to the outside. So I'm going to avoid doing that with this particular scarf. So I'm going to take this tied off edge, make sure I've got the scarf folded so you can only see the outside bit. I might just gather the whole thing and start doing a beautiful sort of display of pattern and colour through the crown here. Just twisting as I go. And then taking the other side, which is really fat because it's got both the triangle and the other edge through it, and using the skinny bit to flip around it like that, and you can even tie it off. Wow, the colours that are coming through on this arrangement is so beautiful. Okay, I'm going to take off those scrunchies now because we don't need them anymore. I'm not going to lose anything at this stage. We've just got two tails now. And it's really pretty out the back as well, to show you. So that'll all get cleaned up in a minute. I actually really want to braid what's become like a bit of a plait, but we're going to actually twist them. Just a loose, twisty kind of braid like this. And then that's going to go in at the back. I'm going to use that bit to just hide away all the bits that are sticking out, come all the way back around and tuck away. Okay, I'll show you what it looks like now at the back. How pretty is this? And look at this gorgeous side bit. It's just everything, isn't it? And it's all because we did this with such a large scarf. You do the exact same thing with a small scarf. You just won't get that oomph or that beautiful pattern or the sort of height, because even the front, because it's a little bit thicker here through the front, you get this beautiful height. With a thinner scarf or a smaller scarf, you would have to put it down much, much more flat to your head, and you just lose so much of that embellishment with the smaller scarves. This is just so three-dimensional, and the actual idea, or the concept behind the tying is so simple. It's just a rectangle folded asymmetrically and tied in a very basic tie, and you get so much more. I've just folded a little bit this time. This is now going to go on my forehead. Got them all pretty evenly for today's looks. Obviously got my poof underneath as well. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but I feel like I need it to hold everything up. It's a lot of weight. Okay, one of my favorite ways to tie a larger scarf is, obviously I like the little bit of lift at the front with these larger ones, because you get all this lift at the back. I feel like the front just balances it out too. But as you saw, it was just a tiny little fold. So I'm going to do kind of like what I did before, but more. So just a twist, and then gather all the fabric. I use my shoulders as a bit of a ledge. And find the edges there, gather, and get it all over so it's nice and taut through the back. So you get a lot of fabric still through the front. Get a whole scarf's worth from the back to the front. And then get your edges again, nice and tight, gather them and twist again. Oh, and folding back again. Okay. Alright, oh, that worked. Cool. So I've just twisted it one more time. It really helps to gather these bits and control it. Just have a twist, or you can knot as well through the front. And look what we get here now. You get this beautiful kind of headband effect. And this really needs to go further back. Hold on. There we go. And then you find where you like to have it. Come on. Stay there. Alright, and then we're going to find the flattest bit. So all the bits, foldy bits are underneath. I'm just going to fold it under that way. Same thing this one. I'm going to twist it until you get as many foldy bits, you know, the uneven bits underneath. You can tuck them away later if you don't get them all. I'm going to pull it all back and make a little knot at the base. Oh, the asymmetry on this is just yummy. Alright, so I'm just going to twist these over and fold them where they were supposed to go. Just in there. There we go. Look at these twists and folds. And you get this beautiful pattern through here, and you wouldn't even know there's so much fabric there, because look how beautifully flat and pleated it all is. And it will pleat slightly differently every time, and you can sort of play with it and bring out more colors or patterns or pleats or whatever. It's very easy. I just sort of find one and jiggle it loose or jiggle it tight with the edges of my fingers or fingernails. Yeah, it looks probably a little bit more delicate than what it is. I'm actually quite tough on my scarves. I'm just going to tie that because it's just sticking out a little bit. Oh, loving it. It looks like I've got some sort of a shaper type thing going on underneath. It's just because we folded the fabric at the beginning. Love that. Let's hide the non-slip headband. Okay, and I'm going to leave these beautiful tails. I love them. But you can most certainly tie them off, or just have them hang at the back or to one side, or you can twist, or you can twist on the other side. Whatever your heart desires. I really love them at the front here. So nice. In fact, I kind of like them onto one side too. I like how this has this sort of waterfall kind of cascade, and then down to some really pretty colors. Very nice. Look at this. So nice. It's all the way down there. Really, really pretty. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial on the larger, brighter scarf to really cheer up and brighten up your day, even if you're at home and even if you're not going out, as you shouldn't. You know, it doesn't mean that you can't dress up. It doesn't mean you can't do what makes you feel good. And listen, if you feel your best in your PJs and letting your skin breathe and not having to cover up, then by all means do that. For me, the opportunity to just be creative and really have an outlet, whether it be with a bit of blue, a pencil under my eyes, or, you know, having just a bit of fun, seeing how combining different color eyeshadows goes, all that sort of stuff. That is for me just everything. I love, love, love makeup. And since getting my hands on some clean makeup that doesn't have any nasty chemical products in there, I don't feel guilty about putting any of that stuff on my skin, and my skin has felt really good with the use of the beautiful clean products. So, you know, there's no guilt. It's all fun and it's really expressive. So if you need to express yourself, whether it's drawing or maybe FaceTiming someone that you miss, or a bit of sewing, doing puzzles, you know, really take an opportunity to really relax and recoup and regenerate during this time, because I think we're all going to hit the ground running when all of this craziness is over. If you haven't signed up already, please do subscribe. The button's just below. It's very easy to do. There's plenty more going up on Instagram and Facebook now, especially because there's so much more stuff on at home. And it's fun to share. And if you're interested, please come along to either Instagram or Facebook. The content is pretty similar on both of those pages. Shout out below with a comment. I love hearing from you guys. It's really nice to see who's watching and what you think. I love it. Let's all try and be our best selves during this time, because it's trialing, it's stressful, and we all have to remember that we're all here together under the same circumstances. And I hope that this tutorial has been a little bit of a distraction for you, maybe give you some inspiration to play with your scarves and have a bit of fun being creative at home. Wherever you are around the world, I hope you're having an amazing time, a wonderful day, and you're staying safe. Thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me. I'll see you next time. Bye.